Hello, welcome to White Davy Gardening and Worm Farm. 3 weeks ago on my Worm Farm live, I did a demonstration on how to start a worm bin. So this is the worm bin that I started on that live show. So today I'm just going to be giving you an update as to what is going on with this bin. On the live, I created this worm bin, but this mesh was not there. So since then, right afterwards, I went and put this window screen on because it will prevent fruit flies from getting into the bin. Also, on the sides, wherever there are holes, I have this mesh. And so far, the glue that I used, which is the Elmer's glue, seemed to be holding, but then the content of the bin, well, the mesh has not been exposed to moisture, so I don't know how well it actually works. In previous worm bins, I've actually used different type of adhesive. I've used caulking, I've used silicone and stuff like that to hold the mesh in place, which works, but then as soon as it gets wet over time, it starts to lift. This hasn't gotten wet yet, so I don't know if it is going to lift, but for now it is working perfectly. So that's what I have been doing, what I got done after the live. I put the mesh on to keep out fruit flies, but then I had the cover just resting on it. I didn't seal it properly, so I do have a bit of fruit flies in here. I can see I have 2 strays here. It seemed to be more than 2. There's another stray in here. I don't know where they're trying to go, but they're trying to go somewhere. Will you look at that? So this is actually a piece of a Chinese cabbage that I put in here, and it has rooted. Oh no, I did not put this Chinese cabbage in here as is. I took it, I was trying to regrow it, but then it wasn't doing so well, so I put it in here. But now that it is in here, it seems as if it wants to grow better than it was growing in the soil that I had it in. Interesting, except that you can see from the color that it needs sunlight, but that's okay. And these are some sweet potato leaves. As I propagate my sweet potatoes, and I have to remove the lower leaves in order to put the slip in water, then I put it in the worm bin. I'm not sure what the story is, but I have some little, you can see them, right? Those little white potworms. At least I'm hoping they're potworms and not nematodes, because it's easier to get rid of the potworms. These worms seem to be doing quite well. I don't remember what it is that I gave them as food scraps, but every now and then, as I'm tending to my indoor garden and the leaves that I harvest from pruning or getting rid of dead leaves on those plants, I keep adding them in here, and I'm not seeing those leaves, so they're eating up pretty fast. They're creating quite a bit of castings, which is good. The material is a bit dry though, so I'm gonna have to add a bit of moisture. This guy is trying to run away. He must not be happy that I'm disturbing him. Okay, so the worms seem to be doing good and they're eating pretty fast, because apart from that piece of Chinese cabbage that I added last week and those sweet potato leaves that I added a few days ago, I'm not really seeing any food scraps. Oh, that's a piece of paper. I'm not really seeing any food scraps, so obviously they're doing pretty well. Okay, so this is my update on what is going on in this bin. I'm going to be giving them back. Their sweet potato leaves and their Chinese cabbage. I'm just gonna cover it and see what happens with that. I know that for cabbages in the worm bin, it takes quite a while for them to feed on it, because the cabbage tend to want to grow rather than break down. So maybe if I freeze this and put it in here after it has thawed, then they would consume it faster, but it's a bit too late for that because there are a few young worms on it. Okay, so this is my update on the worm bin that I started from the live. I will continue to give you update as to what is happening with the bin. If you enjoy my video, please leave a comment in the section below. Give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, it's time to grow.